Good day, everyone. Welcome to my deck again. No, not out in the bush today. First off, I want to apologize to all you my faithful subscribers. It's been 3 weeks, I think, since I've had a posting. I was away. I took a trip to visit my mom and family in southern Ontario. That's about 2,000 kilometers or 1,200 miles away. And for security reasons, I did not want to make that public information. Okay, so that was the trip. Now, first off, this trip was driving motor vehicle, using motels instead of my camper to camp out, and that allowed a more relaxing trip, and also the time that was used in travel. I did not make it a speedy trip. My usual would be a day and a half, 2-day trip. One night in a motel or a camper. At this time, I used 2 nights going and 3 coming back. Didn't rush it. Let's face it, all these years my wife and I have traveled to visit family east and west, and it's always been a rush because the faster we got there, the more time we had to visit. This time was different. I needed a break. I wanted a break. And I listened to my friends and family. The bag sitting here, Old Faithful, I showed it to you before. I rekitted it for this trip. And so I'm going to show you what I put in it quickly. Still gloves. This time, a Sawyer flushing kit. Yeah. Sawyer Micro with its original bag. I've got a paracord snapped around it. For the quick stops, Nestle's. Yeah, I call it. Anyway, it's sweet and creamy French vanilla. You've seen me use it before. That was for quick trips. This is for cleanups because some things get messy. Now you're wondering where I'm going when I dig out French vanilla International Delight. That should be it, except for you gotta have, this is a insulated, okay? Then we go to, and yeah, we're advertising the stove. Okay, did not use my Trangia with its little can I made. Did of course use that spork. We get to my joyful little stove. Now, I must admit I found that I had to shelter it, use the bag here and use the water bottle so that we could do it that way. Now, normally, yeah, it's snagging on the bale. Okay. So this is the 1.9 liter canister from Walmart with the lid and band gone, 2 holes drilled, 2 notches in the top, both sides. Okay. Shouldn't flip it as hard. So I use that. Now, this canister, when I left home, it had 261 milliliters gross weight. From my researching and weighing and all that stuff, I find that they're about 150 grams of canister weight itself, metal canister, it's steel, okay? I weighed it last night. I have approximately 4 grams of fuel in it. That's what's left. In the US, I did purchase this Olicamp, and it is a 4-season performance mixture. And I'm hoping it will be as good as my other 4-season one. Now, I had a second sanitizer, and of course, just in case of a fluke, threw that guy in. Now, my kit normally has at least that spork. and this one is a Snow Peak, right? The blue Snow Peak, and so it was in there. But I also threw these in just because. Looks like a real mess, doesn't it? Here, okay. That should be okay. Of course, alcohol for the alcohol burner. Didn't need that. Right, empty we are. Now, if it looks a little foggy, it's because it's moist, okay? Now this is a Bodum, B-O-D-U-M, French press, and I got this one because I wanted the capacity to make 2 to maybe stretch it to 3 cups of coffee, or two good mug sizes, okay? And we're getting things moved around here, okay? Now there's also sunscreen and insect repellent in the bag, and that's it. Move it up out of the way. Okay. So, this is what I used. My routine, we set aside all the things that didn't get used. I didn't even burn my hands. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. Yes, I did use. Okay. And that guy we didn't use either. We didn't use them. So we're getting thinned down quite a bit. Okay. So, how did it work out? Well, this is a ½ liter when it's full. This holds 1.9 liters. Okay? And I most of the time would make up as much as I wanted. At least one of these full. Sometimes I made a whole liter. You could just get a liter in here, and the coffee grounds were right here floating on the surface. Okay, what did I think of the press? Well, I thought it was phenomenal. Now I didn't bring that's what I didn't bring out was the coffee. Okay, the coffee I used was has a hint of chocolate flavor in it, and some other nice flavors. It was a nice, strong blend, and I'm going to pause and get the package for you so you can actually see what I was doing. And actually my plan is, I think I can probably make enough, there's enough left in this, maybe, to make myself a mug of coffee. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. We'll put it down for being still overtired from the trip. Okay, hard to read back where I am. And so I'm going to bring it up now instead of waiting until later. So you can read and see. Now we're going to start. Don't mind me, this is upside down. So there, my viewer is showing upside down at the moment. Okay. Anyway, there we have it. So it's called the Grizzly Claw. That is the type. Oh, the reflection. Okay, Grizzly Claw. Okay, and they say rich, dark chocolate, and decadent. Okay, now I ground 1 pound. This was beans. I ground 1 pound, put it in 2 packages, a ½ pound, and I weighed them. I finished the first ½ pound, and I think I had one pot out of this one. Okay, so let's do it. And I want to see if this guy is gonna. It would. I could actually hear and see the pressure dropping. Okay, tight. Okay. Now I do like these bottles and their caps. The fact that you can drink through the cap. Okay, that should be lots. For those that aren't aware, I've just hinged it open. Now to back flush it with the syringe thing that came with the water filter, it works fine. Every night I filled a 1 liter bottle and 2 half-liter bottles with whatever I needed. Okay, I want you to be able to see, hopefully you can, the coarseness of that grind. Okay, that was at a setting of 10 on my Encore grinder, okay? And I use 4 scoops rounded to make a cup. 7 scoops for the whole pot. Now, of course, a backpacker wouldn't want that model, I don't think, of French press. Had coffee, cappuccino or latte, whatever it was, in a cafe not long ago. They had 2 sitting on the counter, and you could tell they've been seeing lots of use. Same model, because you can get 2 good full cups, and you know, some of them are smaller. My brother uses a French press in the mountains for his hiking, and I'm assuming he probably uses a stainless or titanium one. Now for me, I like the fact you can see the froth on top. The carbon dioxide coming out of the beans. Okay, now we're going to let it sit for about 4 minutes. And for that, I have my $11:02. Good. Okay, so while that's sitting there, this is a MSR pot gripper. Now, it may not look right to you. Well, it shouldn't. I cut it off. You see, I wanted it to be able to go crosswise inside the pot. Now, I used the holes and the contours to use that as a guide, and it works fine for me. I'm going to put this on. Okay, now can hardly hear a thing in there. I turn it like that on a hard surface to help cool it. Just my way. And I'm going to leave it out of the kit now, and this will of course be in the bucket. Okay? That's just my way of doing it, and you can have your way. That's great. Now, you shake up. Now, by the way, this International Delight treat was just that, a treat. At home, I use something altogether different. I don't use any prepared . Okay, now yes, I did use the Dawn to clean up. The press needs to be washed up. And yeah, I know I'm going to have to wash it again in a little bit. Okay. I'm not used to waiting for a French press like this. I'm used to pour overs and such, but this turns out nice coffee. I dare say I'm going to try it with the blend I use for espresso. I bet that it would turn out nice also. Definitely wouldn't have that chocolatey flavor to it, and with just a small amount of the International Delight, you do get the chocolatey flavor coming through. When this is done, I'm going to be cleaning everything up and then repacking the bag as I had it before, pretty much the same. So I'll always have, you know, half a dozen or so coffees. You got to have them. Now, the filter will not be in it. I must admit, I like the filter. I know that most of your videos out there, they show the mini, and the other one that came first before that. I got that. I figured why not just get this one, because it has the same fittings on it as the first one. The mini, I didn't like the fittings with the way it's set up. So when I ordered it, I ordered this one. Now I did go to my brother for his advice, as well as those of you on YouTube who do it as well. Now I'm going to press slowly. And the one thing is that the shaft is not long enough to take it right to the bottom. The knob is down. For 2 cups, it will be up a 1/16 of an inch or so. Okay, a little bit left in there, and for sure I did find if you leave that sit 10-15 minutes while you're eating a sandwich or whatever, you will notice a big difference in the flavor. Totally different. Ah, yeah, love it. Okay, so that's the coffee that I used most of the time. I used over half a pound. The press, yes, I like it. I figured it would be have a lot more silt in it, and it doesn't. I didn't know what to expect, but I wanted a decent press. They were cheaper, and they were a lot more expensive. I wanted to be able to make coffee for at least 2 people, 3 people, even if you stretch it into a small cup. And like you saw, this glass is full. And it's like I said, it's insulated. I've got the band here, but down here it's lukewarm. And the top, quite warm. Works perfectly. If I was going to buy somebody else a cup to take in the woodlot with them, yep, one of those would be it. I do like the green Stanleys, but they don't hold as much coffee. Okay, that's it for this trip and what happened on it. It was enjoyable, and I did enjoy watching some of your videos while I was sitting for a moment here or there. Look forward to seeing you, hearing from you. By all means, please do like, share, subscribe, comment. I enjoy it immensely. Take care. God bless. Ted's Clear.